Right, so I've been asked to speak to you guys about building brands on YouTube. I've given 1 hour to do it. So I'll see how much I can get you guys to page. It's been a solid data day as I see. I've been here 2 hours, like I said before. Lots of numbers flying around, information overload. But let me promise you one thing. YouTube is not information overload. YouTube is about entertainment, right? Can I have a little bit of show of hands? How many people of you, amongst you, would have watched at least one YouTube video in the last, say, 1 week? Last 5 days? Yesterday? Woo! So I've got a completely engaged audience here, and YouTube's like becoming more and more inherent in our lives. It's becoming the destination, the go-to place for anything that's video, and that's what I'm going to be talking about. How, when all of us are on this platform, how can brands actually make use of all of us being there, right? Brands are after people who are consuming some kind of content, and brands want to come and engage with people like us who are on a particular platform. How many of you are professional marketers? Okay, good. So you market your products, great. So I'll start off with a little bit on what YouTube is and how Indian brands and overseas brands are making use of this platform today, right? So our world has changed, okay? What I'm trying to say here is that the way we consume media or content, it has changed over the past 10, 15 years. 15 years back, we had one television in the house. We had one channel running on that one television, and maybe not 24 hours of content, right? You guys remember the old Doordarshan days? Right. But over time, things have changed, and things have changed more than this anecdotal experience that I just told you about. This is how times have changed. The screens that we expected, a lot of forecasters, marketing pundits said, in 10 years, we will have 5 televisions in the house. They said every room in the house, including the toilet, will have a television screen. It's happening in some hotels, but not in our houses for sure, right? But this is how times have changed. The screens have gotten fragmented. How many of you have more than 3 screens that you interact with on a day-to-day basis? Your television, your home computer, office computer, mobile phone, tablets. There you go. So that's what this slide shows. So this is not data heavy, these slides. You have a television, a laptop, desktop's not there anymore, not in the picture. A mobile phone, tablet, and how many people watching these 4 screens? 2, right? So which means that people have less and less engagement with one particular screen as time goes by. So what's the net effect? So what? Can somebody tell me? So what for a marketer? Yeah, so the challenge for the marketer is how do I reach the right guy at the right time, right? So which means that if I pay top dollars for that television ad out there, and these two people out here are not watching it, how can I actually, like you said, synchronize and make sure that I make the best use of the different screens that people are engaging with, right? So that's the biggest challenge. Screens are fragmenting, marketing is becoming difficult. This is how media, like I said, the screens are getting fragmented, therefore media consumption gets fragmented. Don't worry too much about the numbers, just look at how this TV line, the dark blue line is going. Typically people watch television in the evening hours, right? Unless there's a test match that runs all through the day, people normally watch television in the evening hours. What's happening now is that the internet and YouTube in particular has started getting consumption through the day. So an audience who you want to reach right early in the morning, you can't reach him through television today, right? Remember, even in television, I started with that 15-year back example, there was one channel. Today, there are 150 mainstream channels, over 1,000 broadcasters in the country. So actually reaching this audience across the day is becoming difficult only through television, and there are other modes in media that you can reach them through. So that's an opportunity for a marketer. Right. So remember that the people who we want to reach out to are in control today. You can't tell him that you have to watch Kabhi Saas Ki Bhi Bahu Thi at this time of the evening every day, day in and day out. So they choose not to, right? So people who we want to serve are in control, and therefore we need to amend our marketing plans, amend our brand messaging to these particular set of the way these guys operate. Now, big question, 1 hour, I'll see what I can do. So what are the things that people want to do when they want to build brands, right? They want to build, forget the first word, look at the second ones. I mean, you guys can see the screen, right? Awareness, consideration, advocacy, loyalty, and sales. Today, different media products or media vehicles available today actually lead out to solve some particular problems, not all of them in one go. Remember fragmentation, remember dispersion. So people actually, there are media vehicles that solve one particular problem at one go. So awareness and consideration, maybe which medium can help best? Television? You have this Vodafone ad that comes with like nice shaped eggs and doing stuff. So you'll really know what the product is, right? So you'll know it's nice, it's engaging, it sticks to my mind. Therefore, the first two aspects probably is getting solved by television. Advocacy. Can you guys think of the best digital product that solves advocacy? Can somebody tell me? Mobile, maybe. Social, what do you think about social? Right? You're talking about G+, Facebook, YouTube, where you can actually share what you like, and you actually advocate that to your friend circle. Don't you guys think so? Yeah? So advocacy, digital plays a huge role, and specifically in digital, social plays a great role. So that's one. Loyalty is another. Loyalty happens only when a brand touches you. When you sit with your family in front of a television and watch an ad, you don't feel really loyal. Today, even today, you take any product and you do a market survey and say, who impacts a purchase decision most? Yeah, kids is one. Typically, it won't be television, it won't be, nothing like that shows up, no media vehicle shows up. You'll see friends and family. They are the most important advocates and loyalty providers for a brand. But unfortunately, you can't target friends and family, right? I want to sell a car to this gentleman out here. I can't find his friends and family and target, right? So it's very difficult. So you've got to categorize, segment your audience, and then try and reach out to the right kind of audience. Therefore, you hope your message sticks. And then drive sales. Drive sales. Ultimately, you wouldn't care about all the rest and just drive sales. So that kind of solves the marketing problem. So no media vehicle particularly solves that problem in isolation. So let me go a step beyond and say, how can YouTube actually, in particular YouTube, actually help solve brand issues, building brands, etc. So I'll try and stick to a few key things that YouTube provides. Like it's shown there, I'll go in detail in a bit, but primarily it's persuasive because it's a one-to-one screen, right? Like people say, mobile is so close to me, distance-wise as well. It's actually so personal. Right? So it's persuasive, it's personal, and it's precise, which means that I can actually target you out there, by demographics. I can target my advertising to that one gentleman out there. I can say, I want people sitting in this convention center for the last 3 hours. I can target my ads only to you. And that's how powerful digital has become, and specifically YouTube, because I can find out demographically that this is a nice plum target audience. These guys are in and around JP Nagar and Jayanagar, and I can actually target this whole taxi service for 8:30 this evening, and actually and show ads on a particular medium targeting you guys. So even if I advertise for 3 hours and I get 15 of you to sign up to my taxi service, my job's well done, right? So that's how personal and precise we can be. And then scale is another thing. Scale is sometimes we don't think of scale. We have very little ambition. But there are lots of brands who've built global presence, and I'll show you a video in a while. But they've built global presence just by using specific digital options, and YouTube in particular, and build global brands, right? So this is what it means. Persuasive means that ads that people love, and I'll come and show you how you can establish the love factor for an ad. I have a product for that as well. So there are ads that people love. Personal means engaging, which means that I can actually engage with with a particular ad, which means I like an ad, I can share it. If I don't like an ad, I can skip it, etc. And powerful in terms of scale and precise in terms of targeting. Remember, taxi. Let's go on. We're perennial cribbers, right? We think, hey, video in India? Video in India, you'll only see that round thing going on and on. That's what we'll say. We'll say, no bandwidth. We can't see video. We barely get our JPEGs loading on our screen. But this is how big online video is in India. 43 million unique viewers. How many people in India are on the internet? 120. 43 million of them are streaming video today. Okay, so that's how big it is. Total number of video streams, more than 3.3 billion. An average person sees about, because he's in a household which has one television, he sees about 2 types of channels. Just because he gets only that much share of that television time, right? My mom will take most of it. My wife takes even more of it. My kids have to play Cartoon Network all the time. I barely get to see my sport. But on YouTube, because it's a thing of choice, right? I can flip from entertainment to sports to news in no time. I can actually have them streaming in different windows all the time. A normal person watches 6 different types of videos. And these are some tools that are there with YouTube, like Google believes all empowerment is with the advertiser or the user. The advertiser can actually see that in my set of target audience, what are the kind of videos that my set of audiences is actually watching. And then monthly minutes is about 84, which is also good because if you look at print, a newspaper, a person normally uses a newspaper for 6 to 8 minutes. The life of a newspaper is over after 9 a.m. We all get newspapers at home, right? It's not right not to subscribe to a newspaper today. Right? It's like, how can you not have a newspaper subscription? But typically, it's raddi after 9 a.m. in the morning. Television, if you look at my personal view, in viewing time, I don't spend more than 30 minutes a day, which is good, right? And on online video, 84 minutes per head monthly viewing averaged out across 43 million people. But you guys know what is the largest newspaper in India? Sorry? Times of India? No. That's right. Vernacular is bigger than English today, right? Vernacular is huge because India is primarily rural, right? A lot of people read vernacular. But then, the subscription numbers of Dainik? Readership of Dainik? About there, 17.5 to 18 million. Yeah, that's the total readership of the largest newspaper in the country. But, video today is 43 million. And the reason is very simple. It's ease of consumption. It's ease of consumption because I don't have to sit down and open a paper, manage its folds, and sit in strenuous reading. Video is easy. I can actually stream on news if somebody talks to me. I can keep doing something else, like a television channel, things like that. So, and particularly the age group of 15 to 30, okay, no offense, but they just don't want to read anymore. No offense. They'd rather read a fiction novel than a newspaper every day. Because news feeds are so automatic today. I get it on my phone. I can actually get to bbc.co.uk right there on the net. If I want regional news, I can go to TV9. I can get specific Kannada news there. So that's ease of content is making online video larger and larger by the day. Let's go on. Let's say in India, these numbers will be slightly different from the previous slide because the sources are different. This one's ComScore, and therefore, these ComScore numbers are slightly deflated. YouTube has 55% reach amongst all internet users in the country. And YouTube is the fastest growing website in the country. YouTube is probably bigger than MSN and India Times, all of it, put together, so to say. So that's the scale at which YouTube is growing in India. More about scale. Did you know how much finally Kolavari D ended at? Number of views? 5, no. 40 million. 40 million. It took off and plateaued at about 30. There was one more resurgence. I don't know, somebody in Czechoslovakia made Czechoslovakia, one of those Slav countries, made another remix of Kolaveri, and another 10 million bump up for Dhanush. That's the scale, right? 40 million people, right? Shah Rukh Khan did a live hangout with us on G+. You guys know about that? Yeah, for Ravan. We streamed that on YouTube. Said, okay, it's there on G+. We'll put it on YouTube and see how many people watch it. Guess the number there within 1 week? 2.5 million. Yeah, it's close. Yeah. Also in India, international videos do very well. Beyonce gets an average of 1.5 million views from India itself. So we think that only Dhanush will work, but it's not so. Remember, 6 different genres per person average. Because I, as a user, will watch 6 different genres. So it's not easy to say that only this will work. So it's spread across, and but you can actually target them and follow the user. This is TV9, Kannada, probably the largest news channel in Karnataka. Look at the number of views. Right here in the corner, 54 million. So which means that I don't think Sharmaji is going to watch this, right? It has to be a local. It has to be somebody who speaks Kannada. Maybe not all of them will be in Bangalore or Karnataka, but you can actually figure out how many of them actually viewed it from Bangalore itself. Which means as a marketer, you can reach out to those guys. Pinpoint, if you have a store in, say, Jayanagar, you can actually go and reach out to people who are watching this content or like this and target only them. Get that? I got an example, a video to make it more YouTube-ish. This is an international brand who's built a brand only on the net.
I'm a halitophobia. I'm not so much afraid of me having bad breath. I'm afraid of other people having bad breath. As in, hey buddy, your breath smells like crap. Maybe you should develop a case of halitophobia. Now I know what you're asking. How do we know if we have bad breath? You use this. You use a spoon. Now I know what you're thinking. A spoon, you eat with a spoon, you play spoons. You spoon your girlfriend. You take the spoon, you hold it and forward. You take the spoon and you stick it at the back of your tongue and gently scrape. Let it dry and take a whiff. If it stinks, your breath stinks. And if your breath stinks, this is the only kind of spooning you're going to be getting. The smart viewer out there will note, to check your bad breath, you notice that we checked our tongue. 90% of bad breath comes from bacteria and residue on the tongue. On your tongue. Now, your mom doesn't sound so stupid for telling you to brush your tongue, now does she? Tongues are like sponges, soaking up all that bacteria. Toothbrushes are meant to clean the smooth surfaces of your teeth, not your tongue. And the tongue scraper, you remember the sponge, right? The tongue scraper just goes over the top of your tongue. This ain't gonna work. And mouthwash? This is like trying to clean your carpet with a hose. You're just watering down the problem. And then there's the option that actually works. This, the Aura Brush. The soft bristles feel great on your tongue. You just go back and forth a few times, then go all the way back, pull it forward, and see what comes off. It's the cure to bad breath. You can use this longer than your toothbrush. Use it in the morning, eliminate morning breath, fresh breath all day, and then use it at night, right before bed. You know what I'm talking about, huh? So do you and me and the rest of mankind a favor, get one of these. And your Uncle Steve, the one who looks like he's got a thick coat of fur on his tongue, get him one too. Put it in his Christmas stocking. He'll thank you for it later. His wife will, the kids will, everybody will be happier, trust me. Get your first...
Persuasive. Sight, sound, and motion working together. Look at the right corner there. Ships worldwide. This is from some small town in America, launched only on the net, only on YouTube, homemade production video, and now I don't know how many millions it's worth, but it's quite big today. So this is how brands can actually use it, and that was a global example. People are now starting to look at Indian YouTubers. I know there are a few YouTubers here who upload videos. I heard somebody saying yes sometime back. Hey there. people are actually getting star, worship for people who are doing well on YouTube. Have you guys heard of Shraddha Sharma? You have. Have you heard of her online or offline? Anybody seen anything about her offline? Yeah, MTS ad now. So this is an MTS ad again. So again, what I'm trying to say is that people, not just brands, are starting to look at celebrities made online to endorse them. You guys have seen this video? It's on television now.
पर धक्के खाते हैं फैंस पाने के लिए पहले धक्के खाने पड़ते हैं फेम नाम शोहरत बैठे बैठे नहीं मिलती यू हैव टू ईट डस्ट या शायद नहीं
Video shot exclusively for YouTube. I think now they have plans to go on television. I don't know if it already has. So this is a couple of other things that we did on YouTube. Shraddha Sharma came in now. After seeing MTS, Marico has signed her. For what? Not for her voice, for her hair. Marico is going to sell, its Parachute brand on Shraddha Sharma's celebrity status. And all this celebrity status happened online. Right. On the right, we had ITC, who actually launched a whole, a forum for fashion designers to come together and help people with their fashion. It was called Fiamma de Ville's men's range of fashion, etc. So they did a hangout on G+, and they streamed it on YouTube. They had some decent number of hits, but what happened with this is that if something gets popular online today, it's now fashionable for offline to pick it up and try and make it bigger. So as brands, you can actually do that. You can vie for that. So do something online, do something new, engaging, and offline will pick it up. Get that? This is personal and interactive. This is an example that I had. Not best on a screen like this, but it's personal and interactive. Just watch it very closely. Oops, where'd I go?
Touch the rainbow! No, seriously. Put your index finger on your screen where the skittle is. A video is going to start, and your finger is going to be so delicious. So make sure it's there, now. Lick the rainbow. Taste the rainbow.
Cats work all the time. Yeah. So that's about how you can reach. You can have interactivity with online video, etc. What's precise? As I told you the taxi example some time back. You can actually chase age groups, gender, geography, language. Like I said about the TV9 example, and actually behavioral types. So I know of this taxi service, my favorite example because I consult for one of them. They actually did a great campaign around pubs and bars in the night, with a don't drink and drive campaign. They targeted only those particular pub locality in Connaught Place, and they started a taxi service only to drop people in the night. So whether you have a car or not, if you don't have, there's a taxi that'll come. Or else, if you have a car and you're not too ready to drive at that time, they'll chauffeur you back home with your car. So that's a service that's just started about 6 months back and doing fairly well now. Another thing about Google is that we try and empower the advertiser to actually know what's happening with their campaigns. I think most of you would have used AdWords, may have, may not have, but how many of you used AdWords before? All right, so these guys will be able to tell you that, as an advertiser, you need to know where your money is going. You need to know which 50% of your marketing dollars or rupees is working for you. The age-old adage of marketing is that something's working, but you don't know which 50% of your ad spend is actually working for you. So that makes, with YouTube Analytics and Google's endeavor to empower advertisers with data, we will give you exactly things like where your ads are being watched, what kind of people are watching it, how can you improve on efficiency, stuff like that. And then on the right, this is an experiment, an example we did last year, where we put down Salman Khan's Ready, okay, on YouTube, and said, let's see where people are watching it from, right? Because in India, we always think, bandwidth screwed up, so we won't even be able to see a video. Let's put a full-length video, and Salman Khan's video means that, 2.5 hours of online content. We put it up there and said, let's see where the viewers, which cities the viewers are coming from. Because people said, internet, top 5 cities. Delhi, Bombay, Bangalore, Chennai, Kolkata, maybe Ahmedabad. That's what people say, right? All advertisers say that. So let's put this up, good content, original content. Let's put it up on the net and on YouTube and see how many cities people come from. 87 cities. 87. Some more, some less. But then we had some threshold to say whether, above X number is when we will count it as a city, but 87 across the country. And see the representation. Yeah? Little right from the Far East. Look at maybe the South. Just look at that. I mean, you wouldn't be able to name so many cities in the South. I'm talking about more than 3 million population. Right? So that's how penetrated YouTube is today. People are going and seeking content on YouTube. Another thing is television. Television content is great, right? I mean, it's made with a lot of money behind it. I mean, Satyamev Jayate. How many people watching Satyamev Jayate? Right? How many people have seen it on YouTube? Can somebody guess, anybody, how long it takes for that episode to come on YouTube? Seamless, absolutely. So now the latest trend in good blockbuster television content is to take it and put it on YouTube, because that's additional reach for them, right? Like I started saying, 15 to 34, people not going to, 15 to 24 actually, they won't be sitting and sharing the screen with their parents. They would want a personal experience. So we said, okay, Star is our partner, like many of you are. Star is another original content partner. They said, okay, we're going to put it up live. We're going to chase marketing dollars to make sure that there are views. And then Airtel, of course, came and sponsored it. The first, I don't remember the latest stats, but I think this one says it had 4.5 million hits. And that's 4 million is about, okay, for Indian 40 lakhs is big, right? Is big because on television, on a daily basis, you wouldn't be able to reach this audience. I have another slide which I haven't included here. Somebody who's interested, I can share that with you. Say that what audiences are not consuming TV at all and only consuming YouTube. And you'll be surprised to see that the bottom half of all these niche channels cannot be reached. You can't reach that audience through these set of channels on your TV campaign. How many of you are TV advertisers here? Maybe not. But yeah, so that's another learning that a lot of these agencies and big advertisers are finding, saying that, you know what, I can't reach this Airtel audience who's going to college, just out of college, first jobber. I can't reach them through a TV plan, or it's becoming too expensive to reach them. So they're opting to come here. So Airtel said, Satyameva Jayate, the people that I'm getting to reach out of this viewership is something that I cannot reach out of television, right? Another thing we're very, very proud of is this engineering model where we said TrueView as a concept. Anybody knows what TrueView is? TrueView is nothing but a skippable ad. An ad comes on, and you can actually skip it in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 second. Have you guys seen that ad? Yeah. So this is great. You know why it's great? It's because you're not forcing somebody, forcing communication down somebody's throat. You're saying, watch it if you want to. And the advertiser pays for it if it is watched. Isn't that great? I mean, this is like saying on Star Plus, I can actually fast forward an ad, right? I can't do that. I have to watch it. I have to watch it every time there's an ad break. I can virtually predict what is the sequence of ads on a Star Plus ad break. Yeah, so that's how it is, because that's how media is sold, right? Media is sold as saying, for this program, I want 8 slots. Where will the broadcaster fix 8 slots? He has to put it in the same ad break. So that's how it is. So we said, okay, let's democratize video consumption and ad consumption, and say, okay, advertisers will buy ads basis the number of views it has, and users will see ads if they want to. So what does it prove? It proves that a good ad, good content, will get viewed more often by a user. Correct? Yeah? So if it's an ad that sucks, people will not watch it. Do you guys know this Gems ad, Raho Umarlas? Where there's this lady on the floor and gems flooding out. Right? Do you think it's a good ad? Yeah? Okay. 60 million people think so, because that's the view count of that ad. So you won't really be able to appreciate some ads when you're sitting in a group. But when you're sitting all by yourself, you'll find it funny, you'll find it humorous, and you don't mind watching it. That's how popular it is. By the way, I myself don't like it. I'll skip it whenever I see it. But there are so many people in the country who actually like that ad. And that's become, and another thing about video ads on YouTube is that if I like an ad, I'll actually share it. And now it's not content, remember. It's not content like a funny cat video or some flash floods in Haryana. It's not that, it's an ad, for God's sake. And I'm sharing ads, which means that I pay for an ad, and I pay for it if I see it, plus somebody shares my ad. Double whammy, it's great, right? So that's what TrueView is, and we're very proud of this. This is something that we're focusing on, making video advertising democratic, right? Another thing about quick, how many minutes do I have? Yeah. So another thing about TV versus online is that TV in the peak hours, advertising is up to 20%, which means that if I watch 10 minutes of content on television, I have to see 2 minutes of ads. Vis-a-vis online, I see only 3% of ads, and I can skip it if I want to. Right? So that's where content becomes more and more important. People are coming there because of the content, and they can skip. And this is what we're trying to take to advertise and say, look, these are engaged users rather than force fitting an ad. Some more TV-like viewing experience. Like I started saying, a lot of Indian advertisers are now making content for YouTube, and this is another example of TV-like content that is made only for YouTube. This is their channel. On the lights. In the lights, please. So this is basically it's like a DIY on hair care that Dove has started off saying, how can you style your hair, etc.
Hi, Ria.
Hi.
I love being presentable always. So whenever I can, I comb my hair. In fact, the first thing I get up in the morning, I brush my hair and I tie it up. And I love blow drying every time I step out. But recently, I've just noticed a lot of breakage and a lot of split ends. So can you tell me what we can do about that?
I can. Most of us don't even realize that simpler things like even combing your hair can cause hair fall. It can damage your hair thoroughly, yeah? And also, the best tip would be drying your hair from a distance with a dryer from low to medium heat, not at high heat.
Right.
So that's about it.
Right.
So we had multiple such, kind of tutorials for hair care. I think the video is still running, but you can have a look at it. So youtube.com and then look for Dove. Anybody who's interested in hair care can go there. This is another automobile example where they said, okay, the biggest problem for an automobile guy is to come and take a test drive, and typically there are some 5-6 questions that they want to answer, and of course finally the feel of the car, but you want some questions answered and not in a brochure. They want that answered before they walk into a showroom. So Volkswagen actually said, why don't I do a Q&A for a test drive on YouTube?
The top speed is 202. But don't get caught speeding, all right?
Volkswagen.
So simple things like this that creates engagement. You want answers to some questions, but you want it done well. They said, okay, why don't we just get one guy, not a top model or anything, put him in a room, shoot videos, and then upload it. Okay, it doesn't cost much, and it's great returns. Oh, let's see the view count. That's my favorite hobby now. Oh, this was when it was launched. So in a nutshell, what happens on YouTube in terms of branding is that you have various marketing objectives. Top of the funnel, bottom of the funnel. You guys know the trick, right? In marketing. So various marketing objectives, you can actually solve them through various solutions that YouTube and its Google infrastructure can provide. What you should do is log on. I don't want to get into the details of this. But what you can do is log on to Google.com and look for YouTube marketing solutions. You'll find a lot of case studies out there. I can also leave behind my email ID. You can write to me for any particular challenges that you guys are facing. I think that's about it. So yeah, so some of the case use, TV like viewing experience. Channels are like 1,000, right? If there are 6 average genres that every person watches, the number of channels are in thousands. You can actually watch your favorite Zee TV programs here, and you can watch the latest India-Sri Lanka cricket match out here on YouTube. It's social, which means that not just content, even ads are getting shared, so it's as social as it can get. And the brand experience is more superior because, remember, true view, right? Pay with what people see what they choose to see, right? Thanks, guys. So you have any questions for me? I thought I'll give you a primer, and then we can go into Q&A. Please. Yes. Yep.
We request you all to kindly proceed towards the mic stand so that everybody is audible.
It's right here.
The mic stands are there. It's a very much place for you all. Thank you.
Right here, right? Yeah. Yes, the YouTube Partner Program.
Yeah. So there was the YouTube Partner Program which happened at Google, where they were basically asking people like us to generate content for YouTube, where we could also have some revenue share within
right.
it. However, as we see online, the YouTube Partner Program is not launched yet in India, as I understand, or the Google team has not been, the YouTube team has not been responsive enough to get us enrolled into that program. So any idea on how this could be reached out?
YouTube Partner Program is alive, kicking and kicking hard. Okay, to give you an example, to bring everybody to the same page, YouTube Partner Program is nothing but create your own original content, upload it on YouTube, and make money out of ads served out of there. So you guys are aware of how it happens on the web. We're saying the same thing can happen here, because remember, on YouTube there is user-generated content and there is original content. We're saying users can now create original content that people would like to see and make money out of their ads uploaded. This is very much on and alive in India. To give you an example, there are housewives sitting in remote villages in Andhra Pradesh. Actually, Bombay wala example is better. In Bombay, there's a housewife who makes an average of 1.5–2 lakhs every month just by uploading recipes, DIY recipes, and she's making money out of it. So this is, I can send you the details of this. We can get you up to speed.
Okay. The second question is about the YouTube application on the iPad or the iPhone.
Yeah.
Whereas on the Android there is an upload function to YouTube, on the iOS devices there is no upload function to the YouTube.
Yes.
So is there a
Yes, there is a bit of engineering background to it, and some things beyond engineering background to it, especially on the iOS platform. So we're fixing that, and we should have a solution in the next quarter and a half.
Okay.
So
the last question on that is, sure, if there are a number of people who want to integrate on one particular account. Okay, let's say for instance, I am a community manager for the Bangalore Entrepreneurs Meetup group. So I need a lot of, I have a lot of these entrepreneurs who would want to upload their stories or their experiences online on YouTube. but I would like to integrate them all onto the community website or the community Google page. Is there a possibility of doing that? And if it is there, is there something like an one account accessed by many where people can upload just there?
I'm not clear about what you're asking about, but if you're saying that I want a particular video uploaded on my user account and on a community account, you'll have to.
No.
No.
So if there are 10 people
Right.
who are a part of a community
Right?
on Google Plus, let's say,
Okay.
and all the 10 people want to share their experiences on that community, what generally happens is when they record their video, they have to have their YouTube account, they have to upload that onto their YouTube account, and then share it on the community.
So you want 10 people to sit around
No,
and,
not
and
sit
actually
around.
contribute.
Yeah, not sit around. Use the same account, use the same community, stream to basically, there are 10 different people using the same community stream to, voice out their stories or their experiences. So it's about one account. The community has an account, and they can actually log in through their ID.
I get it now. So this is a workaround. This is not an only YouTube piece. But what you can do is get all of them signed up to a Google Plus Hangout, get everybody to post whenever they want, and feed that back into YouTube into a channel. Yeah. Are you aware of a Google Plus Hangout? So what you can do on a Google Plus Hangout is all 10 of you can actually sign into a Hangout, post your videos, which means it's like a virtual video conferencing center. Post your videos and link that to a YouTube page where that gets uploaded automatically. It could be uploaded separately, but into the same destination. No, it's a single seamless process. It just integrates back in. Any other questions? Yes.
Question in two parts. The first thing is, again, building on the same point, what he said. So to break it in much simpler way, it's like multi-author blog, right?
Yeah.
If you take one blog has one single address, but there are multiple authors. So for example, if I have YouTube as my channel name, I want different users. For example, if I upload a video, it has to say video by Vijay.
Yeah.
If someone else uploads, it has to say video by Shyam, but still it has to be under one channel called YouTube. That's what he's wanting to.
Right. This is similar to have you seen a TED channel?
Exactly.
A TED channel? You want a TED channel done,
yes,
right?
Yes.
That's very simple. So you can have multiple logins to a single channel and get them to upload.
That was his
Oh,
question.
if that's the question, then this TED channel is very simple. What I thought was that you want multiple people to co-author a particular video blog of sorts.
Okay. So coming to
your main question.
coming to my question. So the thing is something regarding YouTube branding, right? We saw that TV kind of an experience. So again, YouTube partner program. So initially we did not have an option to upload videos more than 15 minutes, but now there was an invite mail sent where I can even upload
I
more
think
than 15
selectively
minutes.
it's been
Yeah,
sent.
so I got that invite.
Yeah.
But the thing is that was a part of the partner program, YouTube partner program
That's
earlier.
right.
But along with that, what I used to get in a partner program is designing my YouTube channel, but that is something which is not there right now.
So we have two types of channels. One is a user channel, and even if I upload my
Yeah.
birthday party, I get
Correct.
a channel.
Correct.
What I can do is basic functionalities on those channels.
Exactly.
So I can actually have a different background.
Yeah.
I can do a little bit of jazz.
Colors and all that.
Exactly.
But what I want is branding behind, like how we had Amir Khan there and all this stuff. Right?
So that's a commercial product. We have that as a commercial product for brands. We haven't opened it up for the partner program.
Okay.
We've opened it up for very large partners as of now, I'll be honest with you.
Yeah.
So we've opened up very large partners. We will roll it out because we don't have a backend in place to handle demand if we open it up altogether. So we open it up for brands commercially, and we opened up for very large partners as of now. Okay. But I think on the roadmap will be to have some kind of self-serve platform to kind of make your channel page more jazzy.
Okay.
Yeah.
And just on a light note, so how does Google manage data, man? I mean, so many videos on YouTube. How do you guys handle your data center?
Actually, I don't know much about it. I'm not from the engineering team, but I think the core promise of Google is to handle data, right? So it can go on to any extent. I mean,
how accessible is YouTube to the differently able? How accessible is YouTube and other Google products? Because I've heard one of my friends say that I advised him to sign up to be a Google reseller. I know that it's only open for larger people, larger corporations or larger resellers right now. But I've heard a lot of complaints from the differently abled that Google's interface is not very friendly to the differently abled, hearing impaired or something else. So how friendly or what are the accessibility options that YouTube is providing or other Google products are providing?
This is a very, very strong question, ma'am. What I will do is I will take your email ID, get the right people, and then I'll correspond back to you. I don't have an answer right now.
Okay.
This is a very, very heavy question.
Yeah, I know that this is not a YouTube-related thing, but I want.
No, but it's fine. It's just it's fair to voice your opinion. I will take your email ID separately, or I'll leave you mine. You can write back, and I'll put you on to the right
Thanks.
people. Sure.
Good evening, sir.
Hi.
See, partner channels. Now this option is there for the live streaming. So
Yes.
is it open to all the partner channels or selective?
Open to everybody.
Open to everybody.
Yes. It's open to everybody. So just like I mentioned to the gentleman here, there are two ways to do it. If you want to live stream on your channel, you have to get approval prior. If you link it to your G+ page, you can do it automatically without any approvals. Any questions? Anybody else has any questions? Thanks a ton. Thank you very much for joining in.
Excuse
Hope
me,
you had a
excuse
good evening.
Excuse me, sorry, one more question.
Oh, one more question. Where from?
sorry.
Oh, there.
Yeah. See, is it possible to have custom branding in YouTube? Like, I can stream the videos in my own websites without the branding of YouTube, so that my traffic won't leave from the website to the YouTube.
Oh, no, that's not possible. I mean, that really is a no-brainer. I don't think we'd get that happen, right?
Because Google Apps works in that way for business, right?
No,
For the limited.
This one wouldn't. Because apps is extremely customizable. This is to make sure that it happens on the platform. You can share that video across into your channel rather than the other way around. You can share the video, your YouTube player onto your website.
Okay, thank you.
That's been done by everybody.
So one more question.
Yes.
Why YouTube is not sending monetization option to the new users these days?
New users?
Yeah, new users. Earlier it used to send.
I
you
lost
can
you
monetize your channel. These days they are not sending the.
So which is what the partner program is all about. You can, if you have content, original content, you can sign up for the YPP and start monetizing.
Okay, and one more question. You have heard about the Ray William Johnson, I guess.
Come again?
Ray William Johnson?
Ray William Johnson.
He's the #1 subscriber all over the world.
Okay.
#1
sorry.
YouTube celebrity, you can say.
Okay.
Okay. In YouTube, there, if you get a 3 strike, your account gets deleted.
Yes.
So I've seen his account getting more and more strike. Like within a month, also he gets more than 4-5 strike. He gets.
So what happens is that it just goes back into policy review to make sure that it passes through our filters, and then we reactivate it. So this happens many times even with T-Series in India.
Is that possible for us also? Like
you can
if
write.
I got a strike, then.
Yeah, you can write to the policy team, the YouTube policy team, and they will revert. I think they have some SLAs now, or something like 72 hours. We can look into it. Yeah. Thanks. Is that it? Thanks, guys. Thanks for joining.
Thank you. Mr. Krishna Kumar, I want you to stay back because
You got it right.
I got it right. Can you have a big hand for myself because I got it correct? There we go. We have a special gift for you because I got that wrong. We made this specially when you were presenting. We had the caricature person who was sitting right here.
It made me look better.
That is, yeah, because we need to make you happy.
Yeah, it made me look better. Right.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thanks a lot.
It was a pleasure having you out. Ladies and gentlemen, can we have a big hand for Krishna Kumar?